Hello and welcome back to another Camel's Hump middle school video tutorial. This particular tutorial is specifically aimed at the 5th grade Jigsaw puzzle project, and if you are watching this tutorial it means that the following steps have already been completed. Please double check that this is true for you. You have completed your graphic design work. You have exported that file out of Gravit. You have imported the file into Boss Laser software. And you've completed the steps in Boss Laser software that the previous tutorial discussed. So you have saved your Boss Laser work and you're ready for the next step. So from your desktop, here's where we go. We're going to begin by opening up Boss Laser software. Yours might look like a black and red square. Some of the computers have this icon. Either way, it's RDWorks V8. So double click on that to open it up. Here we go. Now we need to open up the file that you saved from the previous tutorial. So follow my mouse. We're going to come up to File. We're going to go to Open. Now this just happens to be exactly where I need it, but this drop-down menu right here, we always want to begin at CHMS Tech Ed. Now you want to be careful because you don't want the CHMS Tech Ed with the little person next to it. You want the CHMS Tech Ed with the little disc next to it. So if I go right here, CHMS Tech Ed, click on that. So here we go, 5th grade. I'm going to go into Navigator. This is just an example, and I'm going to go to T3. And now I'm like tic-tac-toe. No, I'm going to go to Jigsaw Puzzles. Oh, and look at that. Here's a bunch of files waiting for me. Oh, look, there's one with my name on it. So I'm going to double-click that to open it. Okay, and here comes my Jigsaw puzzle. Okay, I've got a sun and a moon. I can zoom out a little bit. And I can see that I've got a scanning line right here, power of 20 and a speed of 300, and a cut line, 85 power, speed of 12. All of this should be true of your document. If this isn't true, there's something going on, and raise your hand and have Mr. Keating coming over. So the next thing we need to do, we need to resize this whole image to match your Jigsaw puzzle frame precisely. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause the video right now and go to the shop, grab a tape measure, and measure what is left inside of your frame. And I mean edge to edge, going both directions. The numbers are probably going to be between 145 millimeters up to about 152 millimeters. So you're looking for 2 dimensions, across one direction and then across the other. So pause the video, go get those numbers. I'll be waiting for you. Okay, welcome back. You should have 2 dimensions in front of you right now, matching your exact puzzle frame. Okay, whatever those numbers are, if they are the same number as one another, great. If they are different than one another, I want you to focus on the smaller of the 2. So 145 by 148, we're going to throw the 148 out and just keep the 145. Bring your mouse up to here, Config, come down to Page Setting, and I want you to reset both of these numbers to match the lowest number that you have left over in your frame. So if I have a 145 by a 148, both of these numbers turn into 145. Go ahead and make that change, and then press OK. Now zoom out a little bit, click on your image, and drag it away. Next, I want you to click on the square that you had drawn previously around your image, click on it, and press Delete. Next thing we need to do is we need to resize this image right here to fit perfectly right here. Okay? And to do that, we can do it one of 2 ways, but I'm going to show you the more sophisticated way. With your picture selected, bring your mouse up here, and you see these 2 numbers right there? Those are the dimensions of your picture. So if I want to be at 145, I can delete these and type 145. Now you should be typing what your dimensions need to be. Okay? Now that that's done, with this still selected, I'm going to bring my mouse up here. I'm going to click this tool right here, which is going to center my image on my canvas. Ready? 1, 2, 3, click. And I am dead center. Okay, so as far as your engraving goes, that is done. Congratulations. You can click away from it now. That part is done. Now it's time to set up the Jigsaw cut lines. Okay, we're going to import a new file. We're going to go to File, Import, open up this menu and go back to 5th grade. And I have these 3 files waiting for you right here. You can single click on each of them to get a preview. This one's going to give you football-shaped tabs between each jigsaw puzzle piece. This one's going to give you heart-shaped tabs, and this one's going to give you a more traditional look. Now I'm going to go with the traditional look, so I'm going to double-click on that. And you'll notice that it's going to land in the middle of your puzzle piece, right on top of your picture. And that's fine. What I'm going to do, though, is I need to increase the size of this to match the rest of this. Now, there's one important step that we need to do to get this ready. I'm going to draw a box around all of those puzzle pieces, selecting all of these, and I need to group these so that they move together. I'm going to bring my mouse up here. I'm going to click this button to group it. Now I can click on it again. I'm going to move my picture out of the way while I do this. Don't worry, it'll go back. Now I'm going to click on these puzzle pieces. I'm going to go up here, and you know it, I'm going to type 145 by 145. I'm going to click center to make sure that it's centered. Then I'm going to click on my picture, and I'm going to click it to center it. And I'm all set. I've got my image and my cut lines fully set up on my file. Last thing I need to do is just check my speed and power settings. 300 speed and a power of 20 for my engraving. And for my cut line, I want to see a power of 85 and a speed of 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this, change that to 12. And this is the technique you can use to change anything you need, and click OK. Once that's done, we're going to save our work and call Mr. Keating over.